J.J. Watt put something on Twitter. I'm never going to call it X, by the way. Just so you know, I'm never calling it X. It's Twitter that they're trying to rebrand as X, whatever. It's Twitter, okay? TJ had that great pick six that sealed the game, or that made, or whatever. Basically took care of the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers as they bounced back after the worst home loss in Mike Tomlin's era, Week 1 against San Francisco. And JJ put out, TJ Watt is the best defensive player on the planet. Stop trying to question it. Stop trying to justify anyone else. He is the best. Period. Now let me say, I can't say he's wrong. Okay, I can't say he's wrong, but I think if your last name is Watt and you're tweeting this, you have to understand the inherent bias in what you're saying, okay? And JJ, we love you, and we want you on the show. We love you. So I responded, and I want to get your take on this. I responded to JJ this way. I said I think there are 6 dudes ahead of everyone else right now in terms of defensive war daddies, because I think you have to be a D lineman or an edge presence or an edge rusher to really be that special.
That's how you take over the game, no doubt.
Exactly. So this was my list. I said, I think there are 6 dudes ahead of everyone else right now. I put TJ first because I didn't want JJ mad at me.
Don't get mad. We want you on the show, bro. Come on the show.
I said TJ, Micah, Bosa, Donald, Myles Garrett, and Chris Jones. Reasonable people can have differing opinions about how those 6 rank without it being a justification. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I honestly, like, did you rank them in order, or were they just random?
I put them randomly, except I put TJ first for a very specific reason.
Yeah. But honestly, like, I would almost, like, the order you just listed, like, I would almost put Micah at the front of that, just because.
Again, JJ, that's Chase Daniel saying that. That is not me. That is Chase you're angry at. It is not me.
I would say from just purely an offensive coordinator game planning for these guys. Yeah. Micah lines up like 19% of the time. I saw some stat. 19% of the time he's at a different spot. Really, Watt plays on the edge, and they might come inside on some spinner and rush the passer. But Micah is, let's be real, both of them amazing. And it's 1A and 1B in my opinion, but I would go Micah just from a pure game planning perspective. But now TJ, the year he's having already, defensive touchdown, sack, he's 28 years old. Okay. Yeah. And he has 81 and a half or 82 sacks.
He's already the franchise leader. Yeah, he's already the franchise leader.
He's the leader in the clubhouse for the franchise. Like, what? Yeah. So, I actually did see that tweet, and I'll never call it X. I agree with you. It'll never be called X in my mind. But I saw the tweet, and it had like 5 million views. I'm like, anything J.J. Watt puts out there just gets astronomical views.
Yeah, he gets traffic, yeah. So, in your opinion, as a guy who tried to avoid being killed by these people during the game, did I miss anybody presently? And again, we can go like body of work, but I'm saying right now, playing right now, is there anybody that you thought I missed on this list? TJ, Micah, Nick Bosa, Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett, and Chris Jones. Is there anybody that you can think of?
No. From a D-line and linebacker 3-4
D-line
standpoint?
edge rusher presence,
Yeah. Listen, I thought Joey Bosa, what he did on Sunday was impressive because coming off the injury, getting in there, he had eight plays and 2 sacks. So I don't think he's on a level of that because he's been hurt, but that might be another Bosa, the brothers, right? Like another Bosa that you might add to the list. But you nailed it. You nailed it, bro.
Well, thank you. Look, if Von Miller's healthy, I put him on that list, but maybe not now at the back end of his career. And there's guys like Rousseau that are doing really good things for Buffalo. But I think these guys, you saw, and we'll get to this in a minute, but you saw how much Chris Jones dominated that game against Jacksonville. It was insane.
That was crazy. When we would come in on Monday mornings for film study, right? We would watch as quarterback. Say I'm on a team. We would watch the previous game, and we would go through, and then the only thing we would get would be an advanced scouting report, okay? And I want to let people in on this. And so the advanced scouting report, if we're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay, the L.A. Chargers are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers next week, what they would do is they would give us a piece of paper, and it would have the depth chart, and it'd be like little bitty circles, height, weight, speed, maybe some stats from the game, and it would look like, hey, here's a 4.25 nickel, here's a 4.1 dime, here's a 4.3, 3.4 base defense, and it had every name, and it'd have the backup's name, and they would be color coded. Okay?
Yeah.
So a gray would mean, A, there's not enough information at all. That'd be like a practice squad player. There'd be a yellow, and a yellow would be, or sorry, there would be a yellow, and the yellow would be like, average to below average starter. A red would be your above average starter to a Pro Bowl player. And then ever so often, it would be like a ship passing in the night. You could barely find them, but there would be this blue dot. Okay, on all these scouting reports. And the blue dots were once in a generation players, like the best player at the position. And these guys did not very well hand out these blue dots. And sure enough, the last blue dot I saw was when we played the Steelers, and it was TJ Watt on the scouting report. Like we were watching these scouting reports going by, and you're like, are there any blue dots? Are there any blue dots? Because it's what the scouting people and the whole organization thinks. And sure enough, it was a blue dot.
So blue dot Watt. There you go. I like
blue
that.
dot Watt, baby.
All right. So again, JJ, we love you. We want you to come on the show. I just thought maybe you might understand that you have more bias in this conversation than somebody else. Just wanted to throw that out there.